What's good, y'all? As y'all can see, man, we here with another episode of Rockin' with Rue, and man, I got a good one here for y'all. Y'all, this is gonna be amazing. This is a guy right here who I admire this guy, man. Even though he's younger than me, let me tell you something. Even though he's younger than me, you never know who can inspire you, and you never know who you can learn from. Okay, that's a message. That's a gem, man. So listen, today here we have sports broadcaster. NIL certified, baseball analysis, sports reporter, my man Eric, man, Southeastern student, y'all, collegiate guy. How you feeling today, my boy?
I'm doing great, Roo. How are you today?
All good, baby. Man, look, I'm so glad to have you here today, brother. So glad to have you on the episode, man. So look, for the people who might not know, you're in the world of media.
Yes, I am.
How does it feel to be in that field?
And it's been an incredible experience, honestly, because not only do I get to explore, like, how the magic works to actually get your shows, your movies to the big screens, to the silver screens, and also in your households, but you also get to learn, like, technical aspects of it, but also you get to meet a variety of people that you can also learn from, and even athletes or actors, actresses, musicians, like, you can even, like, look up to, like, it's all about the connections and just meeting people and just learning something new every day.
Okay, so have you ran across any of your own mentors or people who you looked up to and inspire you?
Yeah, so last semester, my best bud and I, we had to go cover New Orleans Saints Thursday night football versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
In which it came down to the end when it was tied, and yes, they lost by a touchdown with a passing touchdown from Trevor Lawrence to Christian Kirk, which was a heartbreaker in New Orleans. But that night I had a chance to actually interview like Derek Carr. Let's see, which that was amazing because when I was in the media room, it was more like the angle was Foster Moreau losing the game, but the ball was right there on the fingertips, and he just couldn't come up with it. But that was the angle media kept pushing.
Right.
Like, everyone who came in the room, that's what they were going with. I was like, come on, man, you gotta look at the silver linings too, you know? So, and I actually went, with a question for Derek Carr. I says, hey, look, just take me back to that passing touchdown to Michael Thomas. Is how exciting was it? Like, how much did that mean, for this game, to get it up close? And he's like, you just feel it from the fans. And he went in depth, how the energy of the crowd, got the Saints back on their feet and gave them hope to win that ball game. So that was amazing, just interviewing him. And he had a smile on his face, when I asked my question, because it was something fresh. It was something that was actually positive.
Exactly.
And also that night, I also had the chance, as I was leaving after finishing my stand-up for my demo reel, I actually had a chance to meet linebacker Demario Davis.
Okay. Well, that's hype, man. That's hype. So, in those kind of moments, are you in that moment professionally, or are you in that moment as a fan of come on, as a fan? I'm a sports fan. I'm in here talking to one of the greatest players who I know. I've watched this whole game. Come on. So, are you professional there, or are you Eric?
Okay, so it's actually a bit of both, honestly.
Okay.
Because before I became a broadcaster, I was a sports fan.
Boom.
That's how it all started. I mean, we all have an origin story. We all started somewhere.
Yes, sir.
In which, I watched New Orleans, since their bounce back year in 2006 when they returned to the Superdome after Hurricane Katrina.
Yep.
They go to
ran out that field with that smoke. I remember that.
Yes, they did. Green Day performs "The Saints Are Coming," which that just started a new era for the Saints.
They did.
In which they eventually, as everyone knows, they actually go on to win Super Bowl 44, the first and only one in franchise history.
Right.
So for me, you act in that moment of time. So I'm actually both. I'm myself, but I'm also professional. So when I asked Derek Carr that question, I was like, okay, I want to keep it professional because I'm trying to get the story out there. I'm trying to report what the fans want to hear.
Right.
Even I was even put in perspective. If I was at home, what would I want to hear?
Right.
So that's what I kind of think about. Is do fans want to hear the negatives the whole time, or do they also want to hear some takeaways that could help them learn and that they can build up to to have a much better game? And so that's exactly what it was. So it was definitely professional, and then when I met Demario Davis as well that night, like I also kept it like on a professional level, but at the same time, him and I just had a casual conversation. Like,
Okay.
it didn't matter if I was a broadcaster. He's a linebacker. Like, we just dropped it. It was like that night we just dropped the titles and we just had conversation like we were just regular people. It's like the position didn't matter. It was just life is bigger than sports, and like we were just talking like we were best friends forever.
That's cool. Do you feel that it's great to be able to connect with people on that level, especially athletes or celebrities, whatever it may be?
Absolutely. Because not only like we talked about like you get to learn something new every day. You get to learn something about like these individuals themselves like, on a personal level. So I think it's great just because like you never know if like they'll be like to accommodate you if you want to like build up on that story, or like you have future projects that will be up and coming down the road ahead, and like they'll be able to give you an assist on that. And a great example I can provide is Southeastern has a new head baseball coach named Bobby Barbier, who they hired out of Northwestern State.
Okay.
He was actually a fantastic hire, and I actually got to meet him for fall ball.
Okay.
And when I interviewed him to get a voice out, in which if y'all don't know what that is, it's a voiceover which the anchor actually reads, and the SOT is like the actual sound on tape, like that comes from say like you, me, or like from a coach or athlete that you interview.
Okay.
And when I was talking to Bobby Barbier, like right after we had this interview done, talking about fall practice and fall baseball that was upcoming, he says, "Look, he's like, I really appreciate you like coming out and like just giving this team publicity and just getting everybody ready for the new era of Southeastern baseball."
Okay.
He says, "If you need anything, I want you to contact me."
Definitely.
And like, and so I have like access like to like his email, and also like the SID, which is like the assistant to the coach.
Okay.
They're like, you just reach out to them and they'll get you like everything you need for whatever else is upcoming next for work.
That's great. I want to piggyback on something you're saying here, though. You're speaking on building relationships.
That's right.
Especially in this field and in this world. How important is that to have relationships with these actual people?
It's very important, actually, because when I actually started coming here on Southeastern's campus, I actually had a class at actually that building right over there, which is now under construction. Okay. That was back in fall of 2019.
Okay.
And which I can't believe it's already been 5 years already.
Look at that, man. You did it.
Yeah, I did it. I'm here. And one of the biggest lessons that they have emphasized my very first week I was coming to school was, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Definitely.
And I was like, well, like I thought like if you have like the credentials, so bachelor's degree, you're certified in this, that, ABC. They're like, oh no, like if you can like get connected with people, you build great relationships with people.
Yes,
they could be able to build like, they could be able to put you like in good word with like future employers.
Yes, sir.
And get you hired like for potential jobs. And it was evidence with the night I went to go train one of my friends at the Southeastern Channel. He went from volunteer to paid employee, which congratulations, Christian, if you're watching
Congratulations, Christian, baby.
And in which he did fantastic. But while we're there, WWL Channel 4 was actually in attendance for men's basketball. Okay. And while we're in halftime, the reporter was just walking by, and like he walked up, talked to Christian and myself, and he asked like what was our classifications. And when he found out I was a senior, he was like, hey, he's like, let me get your number, let me get your email, and I did the same for him. Okay. And he says, look, he's like, I want you to like work on your demo reel. I want you to send it to me. I want to give you some suggestions, but also like have like your employer contact me because I actually want to put in a good word to bring you on for Channel 4 and try to get you on that sports department. So
look at that.
Like so that was amazing. Like you see, like just God's like just working. Yes. In my life. I mean, He blessed me with His passion, and He's just opening new doors. As I'm about to walk out the door here.
It's for you, man.
It is.
It's for you.
It really is.
How good does it feel that you can actually walk in your purpose with this?
Man, how's it feel? It's a blessing.
Okay.
It's a blessing. Right now, I just think I just had to keep the consistency, not only in just my passion and my love for this field, but also like just in my faith. Because all glory to God, like that's why I'm here right now. This is why I'm going in this field, because 17-year-old me didn't know what I wanted to do with my life.
Come on, man.
And then when the head baseball coach for my high school, my alma mater, said, "Hey, I want you to run the booth and play-by-play announce," and I was like, I don't know anything about that. I still took it anyway, but then
Accept the challenge, y'all.
yeah,
Accept the challenge.
Accept the challenge.
Yes.
You gotta preach, brother RUU. You have
Come
to
on,
preach,
you
man.
gotta accept the challenge,
You
man.
have to. You can't be stagnant.
Yes.
You cannot be stagnant. And so, I took that challenge in the booth. But that day, it's like I felt that adrenaline rush.
Okay.
I felt that, it was like a fire that spark, like just ignited me. It's like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Boom.
And I remember right after that game, not only did I stay doing play-by-play announcing for my high school sports, I did baseball. Also, I actually eventually left baseball to do softball.
Okay.
And then I just remember after that first game, I remember just taking off straight for home. And I told mom and dad, I said, this is what I'm going to do with my life. And we just went into detail, and they were my biggest support now. So
Shout out to mom and dad.
Shout out to
man.
mom and dad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Was it cool that you were able to go home and actually get your parents' approval? Some kids, me myself, my parents were so stern. Education.
Right.
I'm not going to say they didn't say I couldn't play sports or anything or do entertainment or get in front of cameras like they wanted me to, because eventually my mother and father did pursue that with me and they pushed me to it. But at the beginning, you're going to be on the books. So how good did it feel that your parents actually were applauding you and willing to go along with your dream with you?
It made me happy, but I think they were more happy than I was, actually.
Oh, look at that. Boom,
yeah, because they always preached, like, from the time I was a little boy, like, a little background, I'm actually one of 6 kids.
Okay, look
so
at that.
I come from a huge family.
You Malcolm in the middle?
Yeah, I am Malcolm in the middle, ladies and gentlemen. Malcolm in the middle. So I just went ahead and like I was happy, and like I said, they were more happy than I was, because they always told us from the time we were little kids all the way until like we became adults ourselves. They're like, find what you do, and you don't have to work a day in your life.
Look at that.
They said once you find that, go get an education. And like just get connected with people, so that way you can get your foot in the door and do the job that you love.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest lesson that came from my father, because he was really athletic back in his day when he was in high school.
Okay.
He played football. He actually won championship with Lutcher in '83, back in 1983.
Okay.
And he deems that as the most talented football team that my high school ever had.
Okay.
Which that's amazing.
The stats went down in history, so hey, he got the stats.
He got the stats.
There we go.
And then he also played baseball. He was actually an infielder for baseball. And while they never won a championship there, they were knocking on the door. But unfortunately, like it just never opened up for them. Like they got to the semifinals, but just whatever reason, like that one team just gets to that level, to that one area, and then they just can't move on any further.
Right.
But I came to find out years later, my dad was so good at high school sports, he was actually offered a D1 offer to go play under Mike Martin, rest in peace, coach, to go play at Florida State baseball.
Okay.
Which he's actually the winningest coach of all time in the Florida State program. So that was just an honor. Like he was looking at my dad to go play ball for him.
Right. Great opportunity.
It was a great opportunity. And in which he didn't take it because originally he said, I felt my calling was go in the workforce instead of pursuing a collegiate athletic career.
Boom. Okay.
Which when I look at the story, like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, like what might have been,
Right.
I'm just like, but I was like, I don't want to think about what might have been. I think about what is currently.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And because if my dad didn't take that decision, he would never met my mother. They would have never got married.
Okay.
And they wouldn't have had 6 kids.
Definitely. Right.
And which I'm glad he did not take that decision because I'm where I'm supposed to be, where God like placed my family and I to be. And like it's just them, like both my parents have high school diplomas. Like my mom almost finished, but she actually fell off a horse and broke her back.
Oh man.
And she was actually able to get like surgically repaired, and she's walking walking, going for jogs now. Like,
look at that.
As if like nothing happened.
Look at that, man.
And while she didn't have the funds like to go back and finish her college career, they always applauded us. Like, go ahead and like get that education. Like don't do it for mom and dad. Do it for you. Do it because it makes you happy.
Yes. And I tell people a lot, even if school may not be the way you go, the route you go, because I did go to college, I graduated, but for some people it probably wouldn't have been the route. Still find a way to educate, right? Still find a way to educate and get education on it. How important was that? How important was it for you to make sure that you were educated in what you wanted to do?
Oh, very important. Just because when I first came to college, it's like, I'm going to be a talk show. I'm going to be a talk show host.
Okay.
Like, I was like this, like, you know, chest out, just standing tall, very prideful, you know.
Boom.
But, like, reality check came in. It's like, oh, but you got to learn how to work with the camera.
Yes.
You got to learn how to actually report.
Yes.
You actually got to learn how to write scripts. I'm
yes.
just like,
yes.
I was like, oh, I'm like, I do not remember signing up for this
Thank
part.
you. Right.
Yeah, so, but it really humbled me. I was able to, like, slow down and be like, I'm supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I just reminded myself, I'm supposed to be here. This is what God, like, wanted me to be at. This is, like, what he blessed me with. And, like, I just took the time. I'm working with cameras now. I'm also, like, I know how to write scripts. Like, I can go ahead and produce, like, a 20 or 30-minute show now for sports or news, writing scripts, getting the media together, so on and so forth. So it was very crucial because not only am I learning how to be the best version of myself and what I want to do, which is be a sports anchor, but I can also be a sports reporter. I can go to Strawberry Stadium, I go to the Superdome,
right,
and be on the spot right there, just talking about football. I can do it for baseball. I can do it for basketball. Eventually, I plan to do it for hockey as well.
Okay.
And
so you're not biased in between sports at all.
That's right.
So do you have favorite teams or favorite players?
Yeah, I actually do. So I know, like, I know I have my professional teams that I like to follow, but of course I keep an open mind to look for the next story. Like
the guys who are coming up.
That's right.
Okay, there we go.
That's right. So for basketball, a lot of my friends are looking forward to Victor Wembanyama.
Okay, boom.
Which he was projected going number 1 overall in the upcoming NBA draft.
Yep.
I mean, just look what he's doing right now.
Right.
I know I'm not a Spurs fan. I know, by heart, I'm a Pelicans fan.
Okay, there we go.
I'm a Pelicans fan, but of course, like just seeing like Victor Wembanyama doing what he's doing right now. I mean, he had 10 blocks the other night.
Like, come on.
I mean, like, who?
You got to give credit when it's due.
You have to give
Come
credit.
on, man.
You have to give credit when it's due. So, like, fan me is like, oh, I'm like, this is going to be, like, the next great, like, NBA player.
Right.
But then, like, reporter side was like, yes. Like, it's like, we need to cover the story. Like,
boom, yes.
Like, we have to, like...
This guy had a great game.
This guy has a great game.
Yes.
The angle is, like, he's young. Being number 1 overall. He's projected to be the rookie of the year. Like,
That's what they want.
We have to get the cameras. We have to get the articles, like, on this man going.
Yes.
Because, like, he's going to be, like, once, like, guys like LeBron James or whatever are all retired out the door, he might be stepping up and be, like, that next man.
He's going to be kicking still. He's still going to be kicking.
He will. I got to think, he's, like, 19. Like, I'm 24 now. The dude's 19 years old, and he's making a fantastic living.
Right.
Yeah, so...
The work that goes into being a sports broadcaster, being in media, I don't think people really understand that you have to put in those kind of hours.
You do.
How do you do that and still have time to just be Eric, man, and still have time to just go around, get something to eat, take a nap? How do you do it?
Yeah, scheduling.
Okay.
And if you go in this field, make sure you get good time management.
Oh,
I can't
yes.
stress it enough. I can't stress it enough. And of course, like when it comes to that, you gotta learn like how to filter things out. So like, say like this Monday night, I gotta go do Southeastern men's basketball.
Okay.
For an analysis package. Like so it's like okay, like I gotta get contact with the SID, so I get approval to actually like shoot the game with the camera.
Boom. Yep.
I gotta make sure I'm in the clear to get interviews. So I should email him today as soon as possible. Do that. He gave me the thumbs up that very day.
Boom.
And I just got to make sure. Since I'm still technically a student, I gotta decide what homework assignments I have coming up.
Okay.
I want to get those done because once I get those finished, my focus is going to be on basketball and getting analysis package done.
Right.
And of course, like he asks, like, how can I still be Eric? Like, how can I still have time to myself? It's just
You have to. You're a human, man.
Oh yeah, I'm human. It's just like I said, just work out the schedule, just have good time management is what it comes down to. And so basically, like once I get the sports stuff done, like throughout the week I'm working, I make sure I get everything achieved, and then once I have schoolwork done, and be like, okay, everything's done. Let's just try to like take a couple days off. Saturday and Sunday is my days off. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna put on a good show. I might even go in town, go get something to eat or something.
Okay.
Or I might even like just put on a good show or something. Like just
what show outside of sports? What's something else that entertains you?
Something else that entertains me? All right, so outside of sports, okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I actually love watching like the original like Cartoon Network shows. Like I actually like grew
the
up
classics.
The classics.
Come on, bro.
So
Yes.
yeah, so I watched like last semester I watched like Codename Kids Next Door.
Boom.
2 years ago I watched The Grim Adventures of Billy Mandy. I'm actually on Teen Titans right now.
Boom. Ed, Eddie, come on, bro.
Ed,
come on, you gotta throw it in there.
Never forget Ed, and Eddie people.
Yes, that's what's up. So, in your downtime, you like to chill, watch the old classics.
Yes, I do.
What is something else you like to do?
What is something
Music
else
you like to listen to?
Yeah.
Park you like to go to?
Yeah, so I'm gonna cover all of that. So what else I like to do? I do love to listen to music.
Boom.
So I'm actually somebody who's old school. Actually.
Okay.
I listen to guys like Elvis Presley.
Okay.
I listen to guys like Journey.
Okay.
I know my youngest brother and family got me into like guys like Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses. I like those guys a lot. I'm also somebody who likes classical instrumental music.
Yes.
Yeah, so I like to listen to Beethoven, Mozart.
Boom.
I like to listen to film scores because I'm a big movie buff myself.
Okay.
So I like to listen to guys like Hans Zimmer, James Newton Howard. I like to listen to one group called Two Steps from Hell, which they mainly do music for like video games and movie trailers. But they actually have like albums and like they're so good. Like they're so motivating and upbeat.
Okay.
Like, so I like to listen to those guys. Thomas Burgerson, like, who's actually a part of that group, has actually done his own stuff, which is just as good, maybe at most better.
Okay.
Than Two Steps from Hell. So I like to listen to that. And since I'm still on the subject of music, I also like to go do a little bit of karaoke here and there.
Hey, y'all, listen. I don't think he could beat me, but we're going to see. I'm the karaoke king.
Oh.
I am the karaoke winner.
Ditto.
You feel me?
I feel you.
So we might get us a karaoke episode, y'all. We gonna see. What's your go-to song when you're doing karaoke?
My go-to song. Oh, one of them. Okay, so I'm actually going to think about this for a little bit. I really like "Devil in Disguise" by Elvis.
Okay.
I love "Devil in Disguise."
Okay, me, Andre 3000, Hey Ya.
Ooh.
I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. You feel me?
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
That's one of my favorite go-tos, man. And I also like to just listen to old classic music, just like you said. But I go to like the more soulful guys. So I'm gonna go to like Teddy Pendergrass, probably about some James Brown, throw some of that up in there.
Oh, I love
Amazing
Franklin
Franklin Beverly. I just got put on Isaac Hayes vinyl. Blew me away. Sounds so good, dog. I mean, and all of the old hip hop samples came from that one album. All the old hip hop samples came from Isaac Hayes' one vinyl album. I said,
really?
Man, I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna put you on. Like when I listened to it, I said, this is all of the songs. This is Method Man songs, Ja Rule, DMX songs, Jay-Z songs. Y'all got all this from Isaac Hayes, man. So, all right, that's cool. That's good. So, another question I got for you before we get out of here. What is in the future for you, E, my boy?
What's in the future? Well, May 11th, I'm actually getting my bachelor's degree here at Southeastern. So I am
There we go.
I'm very excited. Mom and Dad, of course, is going to be in attendance. Family's going to be there.
Okay.
My Bible study group, who I consider my best friends, even family, who I know I'm going to be keeping in touch long after I'm out of here, are going to be in attendance.
Keep that network, E.
Oh, will.
Keep that network, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna work out in the long run.
Oh, and it's gonna just continue to grow from there,
Yes,
man.
yes.
Yeah, RUU. So, what's after this? I'm looking at some stations right now. I know. Shout out to Michael Cobble for WBRZ for teaching me like how to video edit and shoot properly for sports broadcast.
Okay.
For like live sporting events and just how I can do analysis packages, give me tips on script writing, etc.
Okay.
I know he said I had a good start for my demo reel, but it was like too long, and then like there was some bugs in it, you know.
Okay.
So I'm getting that together. He said he wanted my new material that he wanted me to send to him, and I actually got in contact with him over the Christmas break, and I told him, I said, look, I just finished. I hit the halfway mark, and I said I've learned a lot. I took in like what you taught me at the internship over the summer, and I applied it, and I'm actually getting work done a lot faster, but it's also on a more professional level.
Okay.
He was happy to hear that, and he says, get that demo reel done. I'm in contact with reporters at WDSU, WAFB, WWL Channel 4, and I'm looking at some station jobs, like doing from sports, and one of my connections is also trying to get me into, like, get in contact with some anchors in Lafayette or do KATC.
Okay.
Which I heard about them. I don't know too much about them, but of course it doesn't hurt just to branch out and just reach out to these people.
Definitely.
And to see like who is the best fit.
There you go.
So studio work is definitely my future going forward. I'll definitely be continuing sports going forward because eventually I just want to work my way up and just be a part of my passion. Like just continue to grow that spark.
Right.
Because my former boss, like he's actually retired now. He's actually replaced by the man under him, and he's doing a fantastic job now. Okay. He actually said like he sees me going to the highest level, like network, and that's actually I'm shooting for the stars now.
You are.
That's what
You're
I'm
gonna
doing.
get it too, my dude.
I appreciate that, RUU.
Thank you so much, E, man.
Thank you, RUU.
This is a great episode, man. I'm so glad the world got to see me and you talk and sit here, and you gave us a heap of knowledge that we didn't know, y'all. That's why I pulled my guy up, man. I told y'all, you never know what you might see. You never know what you might get right here on Rockin' with RUU, y'all. That was a great one, man, and we out.